Hi, I'm Stephen Clayton, and thanks so much for taking the time to check out our new version of Niche Blueprint, version 2.0. Here we are at the start of a new year again. It's a time for planning and setting goals, and I'd like to ask you a question. How much do you need to be able to quit your job and work for yourself? Is it $50,000 a year? Is it $100,000 a year? $50,000 a year is about 1 to 2 sales per day, and 100 is about 2 to 4 sales per day with the Niche Blueprint system. This is ridiculously attainable. I've seen it happen time and time again with ourselves and our customers. Think about what's at stake here. Think about this opportunity. If there's even a remote chance that you can be one of these folks, and I'm telling you, it's not rocket science here, right? You don't have a remote chance. You have a reasonable expectation of making a great income here. Don't you owe it to yourself to give it a try? Particularly when there's nothing at all to risk. I just continue to be amazed at the number of people who violate the #1 rule of being successful. Showing up. That's it. Half the battle, maybe more, is just showing up. So in front of you right now with Niche Blueprint 2.0, you've got another opportunity to just show up. Okay, so we've determined that we have this incredible opportunity, right? So why haven't you done it or everybody else done it, before? Well, online businesses can be hard, right? You need an email list, or you need to be a great copywriter, you need to be a web designer, you need to be an expert in pay-per-click, and yeah, even if you're an expert in pay-per-click, you need tons of money for campaigns, or you need to be an expert in search engine optimization to get the free traffic. And what the heck is search engine optimization anyway? Geez, it's a little overwhelming, right? So why am I up here saying how easy and attainable this is? Well, because we made sure you didn't have to worry about all that stuff in Niche Blueprint 2.0. You don't have to worry about any of those issues at all, okay? Our goal was to give you a complete and total package of everything you need to be successful to avoid all those issues I just talked about and concentrating on creating a real business. Not just loopholes and tricks within Google that can make money for 5 minutes and then go away, but a real business that has real value, that can make you enough money to be working for yourself, or it can be sold like a real business can, like $173,000 for a birdcage Niche Blueprint site. I kid you not. Our partner Dave Hermanson was interviewed on Fox News as a result of that transaction. We know what the problems are, the challenges, and the barriers to you being successful, and we've solved them. Well, let's talk about what you do not need in order to be successful with Niche Blueprint. You don't need an email list. This is not about emailing hundreds of thousands of people and spamming their inbox. You don't need AdWords expertise, and you don't need any money for AdWords or other pay-per-click traffic, or any other paid traffic at all. Remember, we want sort of a no risk for you to take this opportunity. We don't want you to spend any money to get the traffic. You can always use AdWords if you like later on, and we recommend that definitely and show you how to do it, but it's not a requirement, and it's on your own terms after you're already making some money, okay? You don't have to be an SEO expert. We're going to give you an exact plan that we've tested over and over again, and we've tweaked it and given you incredible tools so that you can dominate the search engine rankings without any prior experience. If you have some experience, that's great. You'll do even better. You don't have to be a copywriter. In fact, there's no copy at all to write, and I love that. You don't have to be a web designer or even have any experience building a website at all, because we give you the whole package, okay? You don't need any additional money. A domain, hosting, that's very cheap. For each store, you're going to need that, but nothing else. Every other tool, software package, training, it's all included, okay? Finally, you don't need to go it alone. I'm confident we have the best support in the business. We have a help desk that's manned by our own team. This is a team of folks who actually do this stuff, use this training, use these tools to do our business online. In addition, we have our forum where the support team and product creators are every single day. I've personally made just shy of 5,000 posts right now since our forum went live about 18 months ago. I am very, very proud of that. Well, let's talk about exactly what Niche Blueprint sites are, how they work, kind of what's in the product, and most importantly, let's make sure that we circle back to all those things that I said you didn't have to do, and make sure I explain why that's even remotely possible, right? Well, simply put, the Niche Blueprint product is a complete set of tools training, processes, best practices, procedures, software. It's a complete blueprint, okay, for the development of niche e-commerce sites where you sell physical products. You get free traffic from the search engines, and you have suppliers that manage your inventory and take care of shipping to your customers. So your responsibility is to find these markets, develop these sites, and cash the checks, right? And we show you how to do all that. So what exactly do you need to do? Well, first you need to find a market, a niche. You need to find searchers who are looking for a product and they have their credit card in their hand and they're itching to use it, right? These people have what we call high commercial intent, and they're coming to the search engines to shop online. And you know what? There's plenty of them out there. For the 2009 holiday season, e-commerce grew 21% and hit its highest single day ever on December 15th. Over 900 million sold online in one day. You show me anything else that's growing like that right now, okay? Now, this was one area where some people struggled in the original niche blueprint. So in addition to our whole process on how to brainstorm and get ideas and ways to come up with markets and niches, we came up with an incredible new tool. It's crazy cool. Essentially, it's our own software that tirelessly roams throughout the whole web and finds anything that is a potential e-commerce niche. It crawls through literally millions of websites and pops out potential opportunities. You kind of have to see it, but it's one of the things that I am most excited about for Niche Blueprint 2.0. It's going to make it a piece of cake to find a market that you can make money on. Okay, you need to find a traffic source that you can be reasonably sure of, okay? Now, I can sit here and tell you that you could rank #1 in Google for any search term. And, I guess that's true. But, if you have 3 years and $100,000 to do it, right? But that's obviously not what we're talking about here. We want to be able to get our piece of the traffic pie quickly and easily. So we need a tool to find that traffic source. Now, this is another part of the program that's been completely revamped. And in fact, we developed a brand new tool that we now use for all of our research analysis, and it came out of the problems that people had in just kind of understanding how to do it in the original Niche Blueprint. So of course you get that tool, and that tool is Keyword Blueprint. And rather than some convoluted formulas on competition levels and looking at all sorts of data, you simply have to look for green check marks. We took 5 videos worth of explanations and we put it down to 1, okay? Next up, you need a website. Now, as we said, we don't want you to have to know how to be a copywriter or know the best practices of what elements go where or the technical knowledge to build a site. So we have great software that builds your site and builds your whole e-commerce infrastructure with shopping cart and catalog and just everything that you need with the click of a button, okay? Now, it builds this site on your own domain, your own website. And this is important. This is your store. It's your business. This is not some platform that you can only use with us and you have to keep paying us fees or something. It's yours, okay? It's yours to use and to build as many stores as you like, never paying us another penny. It's yours to keep and make a living from for yourself or to sell with absolutely no complications. We just teach you how to do this and give you the tools, and then we get out of your way, okay? You need suppliers, right? Doesn't do you a lot of good to have a niche and a market, without people who are willing to handle the product inventory for you. So we've got 3 ways that you're going to find suppliers. First up, we have our own product called Dropship Blueprint. And Dropship Blueprint includes tons of products from thousands of companies that are ready to work with you. Other directories that aren't even as good as ours sell for $100 or even $400 by themselves. You get it included in this course. Second, no matter how good our database is, we fully expect you to find markets where we don't have a supplier. So we share with you all of the ways that we find companies that aren't covered in Dropship Blueprint, maybe new products and things like that. And finally, we have what we've always called our secret weapon. One of our partners, Dave Hermanson, is just an absolute expert in e-commerce and can find a supplier for anything at all, okay? So if all else fails, you can submit a ticket, a support ticket to him and his team, and they will help you find a supplier. You need a free traffic plan. You need a simple process to be able to penetrate the top 5 of Google for your keywords that we identified during our market selection. And we have that. It's a complete no-brainer. It's been tested and tweaked for over a year now with many customers. Just to give you an idea, about 2 weeks after we launched the SEO part of Niche Blueprint last year, we did a poll. Now, actually, we released the modules over a 30-day period last time, which we're not doing for this version of Niche Blueprint. But anyway, so 2 weeks in afterwards, 32% of the people who responded had their site on the first page of Google already. 16% were on page 2. Fully 53% were within the top 40 results. Folks, that's within 2 weeks, okay? Now, you also need tools to help you with SEO. Now, we have a couple of heavy hitters that are, frankly, worth the price of this course alone. okay? These major tools that were unavailable during the first Niche Blueprint. I mean, you think the results were good there with the number of folks on the first page? We just wait, because it's going to be even better, okay? I was crazy proud of the quality of Niche Blueprint, but you know, the new Niche Finder, the new keyword tools, the new SEO tools make Niche Blueprint 2.0 a complete game changer. We left all the good in from the first product, improved the areas that people struggled with, and then went completely over the top with these amazing tools. You are totally going to want this. I talked previously in this video, but I think it's worth repeating that you know, we have lots of suppliers. I mean, tons of suppliers, thousands and thousands of product in Dropship Blueprint, but we fully expect you're going to find things that you want to sell that are not in there. So we show you how to find suppliers online. And then, of course, we also have our secret weapon, as I've said before, where we've got an e-commerce expert, Dave Hermanson, who is ready to help you. If you find something that you want to sell, you can't find a supplier either through Dropship Blueprint or the other ways that we teach, then you submit a support ticket and our team will help you. Simple as that. The competition question is one of my favorites, because I think that people, it's been my experience anyway, you know, people are always looking for a reason not to do something, okay? And you know what, if you're worried about competition, then you know, I suggest that you not get into any business, because you know, it's pretty rare that you're going to find a business that has no competition. Online, I mean, just imagine how many different, you know, markets there are, how many different niches there are, and then within those niches, how many different sort of keyword phrases there might be to go after, and how many different countries you might be able to sell that same thing to. It's virtually limitless, okay? And so, you know, you can always find a way to compete in even the most competitive of markets. I mean, you know, take Apple or as an example with iPod and some of the things that they've done. You know, they didn't invent MP3 players, right? They didn't invent the iPhone. They didn't invent the cellular phone. They came into a market and they just executed better. You know, they found a different way in. And so, you know, that's what we teach. We're probably not going to find markets that no one else is in. I'd be shocked if you're going to find a market that no one else is in. But we're going to find our little way inside, you know, that market and be able to get our piece of the pie, our piece of the traffic pie that gets us, you know, maybe 1 to 2 sales a day, maybe 2 to 4 sales a day. But we can make a living on that, you know, and oh, by the way, that's just one store, and we can have many stores because there's no barrier to entry here. You know, there's no big cost involved to having many stores. So competition, in my mind, is just not a problem. So if you're outside of the US, and by the way, plenty of our most successful customers and students from the original Niche Blueprint were outside the US. Not to worry, there is plenty of material, and where it's different for if you're outside the US, we make note of that, and we've accounted for that. So please feel free, jump in and work with us. You won't be disappointed there. We have made it a huge goal not to have other costs in order to be successful with Niche Blueprint 2.0. And other than really getting your own domains and hosting, there are no other costs. There's nothing else that you need. Every single tool, piece of software, all the training, all there. Absolutely all there. Two fantastic things about Niche Blueprint sites. One, they do not take a lot of time. It's perfectly reasonable to think it would be maybe 3 to 4 hours of your time per week to sort of, you know, get a project off the ground, start to process the first orders, things like that. So 3 to 4 hours a week is just a perfectly reasonable sort of budget number for the amount of time that you have to spend. Now, as the site grows, lots more orders come in, that may increase. But of course, that's a pretty good problem to have, right? Which brings us to reason number 2 the Niche Blueprint projects are so great, and that's the ability to outsource, okay? You can easily outsource the ongoing maintenance, the order, fulfillment, the processing that you have to do anyway. Easily outsource that to some very cheap labor, and we show you how to do that within the course. But you can literally sit on the beach and maybe log in once a day and make money because you've outsourced all of the work. Very quick story. I was out on my boat with two good buddies of mine. We were out all day. We were traveling all day. And we had come into port, and I logged in, and they asked me, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm just kind of checking on basically how much revenue these sites brought in. And so I was sharing with them, and I told them how much. And they both looked at each other and they said, but you didn't do anything today. It's like, okay, this is the beauty of having a business that you can build with Niche Blueprint. Everyone always wants to know how long it's going to be before I make money. I get it, I understand. It's obviously pretty hard to answer that question. Here's how we've always answered it. It is not unreasonable, okay, that you should make your first sale within 30 days of having your site up and running. I think that's pretty safe to say. It's a pretty reasonable expectation. And since there really isn't a lot of cost involved in running these, that's profit right there. So I think that's really what you could focus on is first sale within 30 days of having your site up and running. Totally doable and reasonable. Well, I want to thank you so much for hanging in there if you've made it to the end and taking the time to really watch this video about Niche Blueprint 2.0. I think it's really important. I think it's an incredible way to start 2010. And please remember that we launch on Monday, January 11th at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And we desperately hope to see you then. Thanks very much.